Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we're going to look at the brand new limited edition Sonia G Hinoki brush set. We're going to talk about them, and as you see, we are going to do a little bit of a demo and some brief comparisons. I don't get too crazy with comparisons on brush videos, as I find that with people who know their brushes, they already know. And those of you that are trying to really get into the world of natural hair brushes, I don't want to overwhelm you. Any questions that I don't answer or any comparisons you need on Instagram, let me know, or anything else where I can expand and answer below. Happy to do so. This will just be a basic overview and demo for those of you who are wondering. All right, this is a limited edition $120 brush set. Why the price? Well, let me explain. So these brushes, and pardon me that they're dirty, I did wash them before use, and we're going to talk about that as well. You do want to wash your brushes before you use them. Okay, so the price of these brushes is that they are natural hair, say coho goat hair bristles, and they are handcrafted by artisans in Japan. This is the truth. They are made of Hinoki wood, which is a strong Japanese cypress, and it's known for its kind of sturdiness and its strength, and it's used in shrines a lot and temples. And the handles are imprinted. Let me see if I can zoom you in here. The handles are imprinted with these gorgeous cranes. This is permanent ink, as permanent on natural wood as it can be. The cranes symbolize happiness, beauty, longevity, and interestingly enough, the ferrules on both, or ferrules I should say, on both of these brushes are curved like the wings of a crane. How cool is that? Check that out. That's artistry for you. Look at that. That's gorgeous. So on the ferrules, they're kind of crane and mimic the cranes on the handles, which is pretty amazing. And this wood has, Sonia G says in her blog, Sweet Makeup Temptations, that she did not want to cover up the natural beauty of the wood. So it is, of course, not just raw wood, it is covered, but very lightly and gently. So these are very, very fragile little fellas. After I use a brush such as these, I generally wipe them off on a microfiber towel. Sonia G, of course, makes one, and you can also get, similar versions or cheaper versions if you're saving money on Amazon. I like Sonia G's. I think they're kind of they have the perfect amount to them. But you can do that. I try to wash them once every month or so, but when you first get them, you do want to wash them. So let me show you here what these look like when they arrive, okay? Check this out. First of all, I got to show you this crane paper. Look at this. The paper has cranes on it and a little Sonia G sticker. How cool is that? And then when you open it up, you'll see it here, what it looks like when you first open them up. And then you wash them when you first get them. They do need just a little bit of soap and water, just to get any sort of residue off. And a lot of times when you first get these brushes, they'll have some little hairs that will kind of stick out on the sides. And when you wash them for the first time, that just kind of helps them settle down and fluff up so that they're ready for use. Then I try to wipe them on a microfiber towel in between uses. And I try not to wash them too much. These guys are definitely limited edition collector's items. And in that sense, they're not fragile. I mean, they will definitely work for you and be workhorses in that sense. But we'll talk about this in the demo. They're not the kind of brushes that you want to just knock off on a table when you get too much product on it. You have to be a little bit gentle. This is a luxury item. There is just no doubt about that. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the shapes of the brushes. So we have two brushes, as you see. Brush number one, which is a full, densely packed brush for kind of applying makeup and buffing. We'll talk specifically about it in a moment. And brush two, which is obviously the smaller brush, kind of, an angled and fluffy, airy brush that's for more sheer buildable product. Brush one can kind of be compared, if you have to and if you want to, maybe to the Niji Pro, but it is, as you see, a smaller brush. I mean, they have some similarities in terms of the shape of the bristles. You can see the Niji Pro popping out from behind our brand new brush one here. A little bit. I suppose you could compare them, but I think this brush is more precise, and you'll see in the demo I use it for blush. You could use it for whatever you want, honestly, guys. I use it for blush. And I don't generally use the Niji Pro. I tend to like that for bronzing, whereas I would use this one more for contour. Just saying. But this brush can be used for anything. It could be used for contour, for blush, for bronzer, anything you want to apply or buff. This would be beautiful for powder to buff in afterwards. And in our demo, I'm going to show it to you with simple blush application. I just think it's beautiful for that. For brush 2, there's not really much comparisons, I suppose, if I went through my whole collection, but I'm afraid that might be overwhelming for some. Happy to do it over on Instagram or to talk to you about it in comments below. Maybe we could take the Lotus Detail brush and compare the two, and that might be if we want to do Sonia G to Sonia G, maybe that would work, but even that, this new brush is a little bit more precise, I feel, but I like them both for highlighter. This one really builds with an airy kind of just, I still think they're different. And I don't think I have anything actually like this brush in terms of its shape and size in my collection. This one, again, blush, contour, highlight, powder would be beautiful for powdering under the eyes or around the nose. And these are generally, look, it's undyed goat hair. So this can be used really for anything, from powder to cream to liquid. I like it best for powder. I mean, I think it would definitely work for liquid also, but cream might be a little heavy for how delicate these brushes are. I am not saying that you'll ruin the brushes, certainly no, but I don't really think they're really a cream brush. For me, I use a lot of powder, so these are kind of right up my alley. They're precise, they build product, but they apply delicately, and they're really, really good for powder. I am absolutely loving these. I washed mine last night and dried them overnight, so they're ready to go, as you see, for the demo, already dirty. They'll always be dirty in my collection. Let me take you right now to the demo and let's check out the brand new Sonia G Hinoki set in use. So we're going to do something super simple with both brushes today. I have actually a full face of makeup on, but no blush and no highlighter. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use brush 1 for the blush and brush 2 for the highlighter. And to keep it even simpler, we are going to use the Pat McGrath. This is Galactic Sun, and it has both blush and highlighter in it. So just super simple all the way around. All right, so we're going to start by taking brush 1, all nicely fresh, fluffed, and cleaned. And we're going to put it into this shade right here in the Pat McGrath blush that keeps wanting to close on me. My own fault there. Okay, and just kind of tap it off on my hand a little bit. You don't want to take brushes like this is kind of important, guys, and clonk them on a table, as I have been guilty of doing. Everything is put together really gently here, so if you're clonk, clonk, clonk on a table with it, it's not going to be good for the brushes in the long run, so tap just kind of on your hand, and even then, not too hard if you can avoid it, okay? No aggression being taken out. All right, and here we go. Look at how beautifully this applies the blush. It's just the way that the goat hair grabs the shade is just so perfect. Look at that. And it is really a luxurious experience because it's so soft, you guys. It's so just nice and soft. Again, gently tapping just on my hand rather than on the table. I like this brush shape for blush. You could actually use it for pretty much anything, but I like it for blush just because it really helps me just kind of taper my blush up. You can do this, you can just kind of pat it on, anything you want, but also just these edges here. I mean, you could easily put powder under the eyes with this, you guys, you really can. And you could certainly highlight with it on the tops of the cheekbones. Today I'm going to use the brush number 2 for that, but you could certainly do that here as well. And it just kind of gives it just spreads the blush out so beautifully, especially when you're working with a nice blush, which I really actually like these trios from Pat McGrath. Look just how pretty that is. All right, let's go ahead and do our nicely washed and fluffed brush number 2. And we're just going to use that same palette, keeping it nice and simple, and going into the highlighter with it. I just like how narrow and precise this brush is. And so today we're going to use it for highlighter. It could be used for a lot more, but I Love the precise application that you're going to get from this brush, even just above gently and down the nose. I can just be so precise with it, but I could easily have actually used the fatter end of this for blush, and powdering under the eyes with this where it comes to a point would be an absolute dream to just kind of go under there. So just such a beautiful, beautiful brushes. And for me, I think, honestly, there are some sets that are collectible but not necessary. For me, this set is necessary. Let me actually tell you why, now that I can kind of put myself back together here. For me, the precision of these brushes makes my type of makeup application easier. I hear you, I know. You're saying, you mean sloppy, Rebecca? Maybe a little bit, and quick. And I think the fact that I can just take, did you see how easily, while talking to you and not even paying attention, I could just sweep that blush on in the right way on my face and just apply that highlighter just so easily. The kind of ability that these brushes are so tapered for me is kind of a godsend. And the fact that they work really well in powder. I play with creams and I play with liquids. I really love powder. And you know, you can use these for creams. It's not really you can, certainly, and liquids, but mostly I would use these for powder. So for me, who prefers powder, who's always in a hurry, something that actually kind of angles and makes precise application, these two brushes are going to be invaluable to me. I'm actually considering getting some more while they're still available, because I know that with Sonia G limited edition definitely means limited edition. Not to mention the beauty and just the way these are built is one thing, but for me, just how usable and everyday they'll be in my makeup wardrobe and in my collection kind of it's frankly unbeatable. So these really excite me and make me happy, but let me know what you guys think. Did you pick them up? Were you on the fence? Lots of folks told me they needed to know before they purchased, so I wanted to get this video out for you. So fill me in on what's happening in your world and what your thoughts are. And I'm always happy to answer brush questions and to try to uncomplicate it for you. Sometimes, especially the world with natural hair brushes can get a little confusing and disarming. So just let me know, and I'll answer them in my own, inimitable, practical way. Just let me know that down below in comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, my goodness, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that I won't miss any of you in the next video. Bye-bye.